Hello everyone, my name is Mario Tiazzo and I'm the Data Analysis and Visualization Librarian here at UNB Libraries. Today we're going to build from our first 4 videos on Power BI and explore how to save our Power BI report and publish it so that we can share it with our audience. If you haven't listened to the previous videos, it might be a good idea to do so in order to be able to follow along without any added friction. You'll recall that we were able to ingest 3 Excel tables in Power BI, our fact table, test scores, and 2 dimension tables, student profile and subject category, as well as refine the data and link our data tables to establish relationships between them. From there, we created a series of visual elements and enhanced those visuals with slicers that could filter out data to gain more insights. Just my regular disclaimer, these data tables are fictional. They were created using randomly generated numbers and don't represent anything based in reality. They are simply used for explanatory purposes. Okay, let's start with a more straightforward task, saving your Power BI document. This will be very familiar to you if you've ever used Word or Excel. Simply go to the File tab, and you can choose the Save or Save As options. Then simply navigate to the area in your file folder that you want to store the file. I've already named my file Video Example, and then I can press Save. Notice that the file has a .pbix suffix to indicate that this is a Power BI file. If I wanted to retrieve the file, I would simply open up Power BI and I could open an existing report here, or if I've used it recently, it might show up on the recent reports at the bottom. So I'll click on that, and once the report is loaded, I get all my visuals back. All right, now what if I had completed my report and was ready to share it with a wider audience? To do this, I would need to publish the report. A prerequisite to publication is that you need to be signed in with your UNB credentials. Notice that I am signed in here at the top. Once I'm signed in, click on the Publish button in the Home ribbon. If you haven't saved the latest version of the report, you will be prompted to do so or cancel. Select My Workspace. This is the file folder in effect that you can store your published reports, dashboards, and other Power BI assets. Once it is published, you will get the success checkmark. You can now open your Power BI report, except this is not in your Power BI desktop version. It's the online version, also known as Power BI Service. So let's click on that link. Quick aside, you can always access Power BI Service by going on your browser and typing in powerbi.com. As long as you are signed in with your UNB account, you will be able to see your files there. Okay, notice that the name I gave my Power BI file when I saved it is now the name of the report, so keep that in mind when saving a file. All right, here we have a report online with all the interactive functionalities that we had with our desktop version. But because it's online, it is shareable. We can click on the Share button at the top of the report. And we can share with anybody at UNB because the university has a pro license for all its users, which is great. If you want to share with someone outside the university, you need to make sure that they have a license for Power BI that is either Pro, Premium, or PPU, which stands for Premium Per User. So if you wanted to share a report with someone outside of UNB, you would click here and follow the prompts. Whoever you share it with, I would recommend that you unclick the Allow recipients to build content with data associated with this report option in most cases, because this allows them to use your underlying data, which is typically not the intention of sharing the report. If you wanted to share your report widely and you had a website, one potential workaround to the licensing issue is that you can embed your report on your website by going to File, Embed Report, Website or Portal. You get the link to the report that you can share and the HTML code to input your website code. Another way to share your report is to either export it as a PowerPoint presentation or as a PDF file, but both of these come with some constraint. For the PDF option, simply click on the Export button over here and choose PDF. Then you need to decide if you want to include the current values. This may be the values that are impacted by slicers or other filtering, or the default values, which includes the data without any filtering. You can also choose if you want to exclude hidden report tabs. We haven't really touched on this topic in this introductory session, so I won't linger on it. And a final option is to include the current page. This is relevant if you have several pages or tabs in your desktop version, which we do not. So I'll click current values and I'll click export. It may take a few minutes to convert, but when it is done, the file will appear in your downloads folder. You can see that the map does not export, and this is true in the PowerPoint example as well. This is a real bummer, but certain visuals like the ArcGIS map and R visuals are not supported for export. If you want to get around this, I would choose another map visual. I'll quickly go back to the desktop version and change my map visual. So I'll select this one, which we already figured out is being retired soon, but we'll overlook that for now. The location does not go in Legends, it goes into location. The median score is already in the bubble, which is great. Go to map settings, and instead of road, we'll pick grayscale. And for the bubbles, instead of auto, we will pick data range, which makes the bubbles relative to one another. Okay, and now we'll republish this. We'll replace it. Functionality remains the same, as we can see. Now we'll export it to PDF, current values. Now we can see that the map visual is included in our PDF, which is great. All right, to include your report in a PowerPoint presentation, you have two options. Here we'll go PowerPoint. You can either choose on the embedded live data or export as image. If you decide to export as image, the process is very similar to the PDF download, except the output is a PowerPoint presentation with a title page. If you had more than one tab in your report, each tab would be an individual slide in the presentation. So let's do that very quickly. Here we are, we have the title page, and then we have our report. Note that if we had kept the ArcGIS map, it would not have exported in the PowerPoint presentation. Now let's go back to the export here. PowerPoint, this time let's choose the embedded live data. Now we have an embedded live PowerPoint presentation, which is interactive, just like our original report. Another way to get the same result is to create a new slide and select the Power BI button in the Insert ribbon. So if we were to include a new slide here, we could go to the Insert ribbon, press Power BI here, and just paste the URL for our Power BI here. Or we could use the recommended ones. And there we have it. Again, an interactive report. Note that the interactive option, whether doing it through Power BI service or directly in PowerPoint, only the current page is shown. So if you have multiple pages, you need to create multiple slides using this method. Okay, I think that's it on my end. In this introductory series, we've looked at, among other things, how to ingest data in Power BI, how to create relationships between fact and dimension tables, how to create a report with visuals and associated slicers, as well as learning how to save and publish and otherwise distribute the Power BI report in order to share it with your audience. I hope that this was helpful, and feel free to check out my other videos on Excel and Power BI. Bye for now.